Hello, everybody. Pastor won't take but a few moments of your time, but today I want to just jump into something that I feel like I need to share with you and just share my heart with you and speak to you for just a few moments. In Zechariah chapter 12, we see the judgment of God on the enemies of Jerusalem. But we also see a time when the Jewish people will turn to God. The Lord himself has promised that he will come in power to destroy all nations that comes against the ancient city. But there are 5 things in Zechariah 12 that I see that I want to mention to you just very quickly. Number 1, we see the siege of Jerusalem in verses 1 through 3. Number 2, we see the forthcoming battle of Armageddon in verses 4 through 9. And 3, we see the coming latter rain that God has promised in verse number 10. And then number 4, we see godly sorrow as it is seen in the hearts of the people in verses 11 through 14. And the 5th thing I want to speak of is found in Zechariah 13 and 1. We see a new day and a fountain being opened to Israel, which is the house of David in the scriptures, and it will be open for the forgiveness of sin and for uncleanness that has came upon the land to cleanse it. Very quickly today, I want to speak of Zechariah 12 and 2, where the Word of God records, "Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege both against Judah and Jerusalem." What we're seeing today in Israel playing out right before our very eyes is part of the fulfilling of this particular chapter and verse, and even other prophecies that the prophet spoke of, and the ones that Jesus declared unto us. One was when Jesus was looking over Jerusalem and said in Luke chapter 13, I believe it's 34 through 35, he said, "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, which has killed the prophets and stoned them that are sent unto thee. How often would I have gathered together your children as a hen doth gather her brood under her protected wings, and you would not. He said, Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. And verily I say unto you, ye shall not see me until the time come when you shall say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord." Over the past few days, Hamas has fired thousands of rockets from Gaza all over Israel. And I just want to thank God for something called the Iron Dome of defense that they have had. They have attacked Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Haifa, and almost every city within the borders of Israel. And to be honest with you, Jerusalem is the flashpoint of the world at this present time. She is truly Zechariah's cup of trembling and burdensome stone that is spoken of in verses 2 and 3. I feel it's all about Judah and all about Jerusalem. And the reason it is because Satan and the Antichrist of this world hates Jerusalem only because it's God's city. And because God has said, I have chosen to put my name there, according to 2 Kings and 2 Chronicles. A lot of people don't like to think that the United States as a political power will ever turn against Israel. Well, the B part of Zechariah 12 and 3 declares that God shall cut into pieces all that comes against Jerusalem, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. Hear me. As a people of God, I want you to know we're running out of time. My lady said something this morning that prompted me to speak to you today. She said people can hear that we're running out of gas and they'll rush to the station and fill their tanks. They'll even take vessels with them and fill up those vessels. They'll leave work and take time off from work and go pay whatever they have to just to get a gallon of it, only because they heard that we're running out of gas. Today, I want you to understand that I'm looking at you and I am declaring from this camera in front of you that we're running out of time. Almost everyone has heard that at one time or another sitting inside of a church somewhere. You don't hear it much today, but I'm telling you, we're running out of time. Most of Zechariah's prophecies deal with what happens after the rapture of the church and during the 7-year tribulation period. And that's the 7 years before the time Jesus comes back to Jerusalem. And if we're seeing the signs of that happening soon on our news broadcast, then how much closer is the rapture of the church? Folks, I just come to tell you, we're running out of time. And I will be speaking more of this tonight in our midweek service, and if the Lord delays its coming, next Sunday morning as well. But I know there's a good chance we won't even be here. I want to say that again. We're running out of time. Jesus said this in Luke chapter 21, 24 through 28. He said, "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars. And upon the earth there will be distress of nations with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring, men's heart failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken, and then shall they see the coming of the Son of Man in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things," he said, "begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh." Just like what we're seeing at the gas pumps, if you are a true, born-again child of God, I believe you'll do whatever it takes to make sure you're ready. Not only you, but you'll make sure you make every effort to get your family and your friends and loved ones ready as well. You will obey the commandment of God and compel as many as possible to get in a Spirit-filled, Bible-believing, anointed, soaked church somewhere where their hearts can be touched and their lives be changed, because we're running out of time. And to be honest with you, I'm just really sick of hearing, "Well, Pastor, I can do that at home." Well, I'm going to shock you. No, you can't. And no, you won't. Jesus said, "Compel them that my house may be full." Why? Because it is there that he will meet with you. Folks, some of you that are using the excuse of the pandemic to stay home, that doesn't get it done any longer. Our state is wide open. Quit playing around with your eternity and the eternity of the people you love. We are running out of time. And I have but one question to ask. What are you doing with the time we do have left? What are you doing with that time? I'm just going to leave that with you. God bless you. We love you. And should the Lord delay his coming, we'll see you here this evening as our doors open at 6:45. God bless. See you in a little bit.